Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting afternoon here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center on the campus of Newport News Shipbuilding, right here in the heart of Newport News, Virginia. Thank you for joining us. Howard McCain here to bring you the play-by-play matchup today between the Lady Builders of our Apprentice School and the Lady Wildcats of Johnson Wales College out of North Carolina. And this should be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. A lot is on the line here for both of these teams, and we're going to talk quite a bit about that as we go through the broadcast. Right now, both starting lineups are being introduced for both squads, and we're going to be getting ready set for basketball here very, very shortly. We have two matchups to bring you today. We have the ladies are up first, and after that, the men are going to take over. But like I said, there is a lot to play for in this matchup today. Now, the last time these two teams played, the Lady Wildcats did win the basketball game by a score of 88-68. So a little bit of a revenge factor is kind of working into this afternoon's basketball game for the Lady Builders. But again, a lot of things to do with seeding inside the EMAC Conference are at stake today. The Lady Builders, again, play in the Eastern Metro Athletic Conference, and there is a lot at stake as Rayleigh Ross brings in her basketball team into the Apprentice School today for this tough matchup against our Lady Builders. Again, Coach Ross in her first year here at the helm. Both teams are making their way onto the court, and we're set for the starting tip of this afternoon's action. So don't go anywhere, buckle up, here we go. Again, both starting lineups have already been introduced. Our officials for this afternoon's game are Ryan Kletz, Gregory Coleman, and Montrell Cade, as the opening tip is handled by the Lady Wildcats, and quickly the Lady Wildcats take the lead. So the Lady Builders trail 2-0 as Brittany Jones handles the basketball. She's joined on the court along with Aquasia Jones, Elena Pelham, and we have a traveling violation, so that'll be the first turnover for the Lady Builders. Taylor McCaslin also joins the starting five along with Alexis Weddington. For the visiting Wildcats of Johnson and Wales, Kara Scott, Jemiah Montessori, as the give on the go is no good for the Lady Wildcats. Builders running. Brittany Jones able to get to the basket, just unable to finish, looking to draw the foul, unable to do so. So the basketball goes back over to the Wildcats, who lead 2-0 early on here in the first period of action at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Again, so glad you could join us, and once again want to always thank Bayport Credit Union for all they do in support of Builder Athletics here and everywhere. Wildcats on the attack, shot up and good, and that is going to be a foul. Anisha Hankerson able to get the two to go, and she picks up that first foul. So that'll be the first team foul on the Lady Builders. And that is going to go on Alexis Weddington. That will be her first. 8:52 left in the first period. Wildcats unable to extend their lead as Taylor McCaslin clears the offensive board. Builders running. Weddington, shot no good. Back come the Wildcats. Montessori with the basketball as she gives to Hankerson. Scrum on the floor. Lady Builders come away with it with Elena Pelham. Here's Weddington to Jones. Brittany Jones shot, long rebound, collision, and a foul. That is going to go on Alexis Weddington, and quickly, that is Alexis Weddington's second personal foul here in the opening period of the basketball game, so that's going to be concerning early on for her as she picks up two quick fouls in under 4 minutes in the basketball game. Here's Montessori. She works it around the three-point line. She's also joined by Christine Epler. Give inside the lane, shot up no good for Micah Thomas. And here comes Aquasia Jones. Lady Builders are yet to score. 4-0 is the score as Elena Pelham. Jones Air ball that time by Brittany Jones. So it's not that the Lady Builders aren't getting good looks at the basket so far. Unable to convert is Hankerson. Fails to add to her scoring total, but the tip out is controlled by the Lady Wildcats. Shot up and good by Jemiah Montessori, and that opens up the Wildcats lead now 6-0 over the Lady Builders, as the Lady Wildcats come into this afternoon's basketball game with an overall record of 10-11, 4-2 in the conference. Lady Builders overall record of 5-14. They come into today's game at 3-3 as Taylor McCaslin gets the Lady Builders on the scoreboard with her first bucket of the afternoon. 6-2 is our score. Wildcats leading the Lady Builders, 6:49 and counting remaining in the first period. Hankerson kicks to the wing to Montessori. Rebound comes off to McCaslin. Lady Builders looking to run a little bit. Weddington on the attack. 20 seconds on the shot clock. McCaslin for three. Shot is up and good. Now that was not going to count as a three. McCaslin's foot was on the line, so that's just a long two. So 6-4 is our score, and we get a foul. That foul is going to go on Taylor McCaslin. That will be her first personal foul and the team's third, as Montessori prepares to step to the line to shoot two. Substitutions into the ball game for the Wildcats. Justice Wallace and Shannon Martin into the ball game as the first free throw is missed. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon, wherever you're watching the basketball game, as the second of two goes down and the Wildcats extend their lead to 3, 7-4. Pelham on the drive. She's bumped, but they call an offensive foul. So apparently they said that Elena Pauley Pelham drove her shoulder into the defender prior to her taking a shot, and she's whistled for her first. Hankerson misses. Here's Jones to Brittany Jones. Wise decision by Brittany Jones to pull the basketball out and run the offense as Taylor McCaslin misses everything. Brittany Jones unable to track down the long rebound in the corner. As the Wildcats go back on the attack, they are leading currently by a score of 7-4 here in the first period. 5:30 left in the first period. Shot clock at 20. Here's Montessori. Montessori able to convert on the baseline. So 9-4 is the score. Weddington is cut off. Jones, long two-point try is good. That stops the bleeding just a little bit in scoring for the Lady Builders, who have come into this afternoon's game. A little cold from the field so far, but they're in it. 9-6 is our score. Montessori, did she lose it or? So actually they're going to call a foul. That foul call is going to go on Aquasia Jones. So for Aquasia Jones, that is her first personal foul as the Wildcats make substitutions. Micah Thomas back into the ball game, and Montessori goes back to the free throw line. And she makes the first of two. So Montessori leads all scorers on the floor. Currently, she has 6 points so far in the first period, unable to pick up her seventh. As the Lady Builders get out and running, and they commit the turnover. Outlet pass a little too strong, a little too high for Taylor McCaslin from Alexis Weddington. 4:50 left in the first period. Wildcats lead 10-6 over the Lady Builders this afternoon. This Montessori. Shot comes off to Jones. Brittany Jones attacking. Tough shot Pelham was there to clean up the offensive glass, but unable to convert. Here come the Wildcats. Thomas, shot blocked by Weddington. Weddington running. Builders need to convert on this fast break. And Taylor McCaslin with her 4th point of the afternoon. Correction, that is her 6th point. So she has 6 of the total 8 points on the board right now for the Lady Builders as they trail by 2, 10-8. Nice move into the lane by Scott. She was just unable to convert. Here comes Equasia Jones. Shot clock, plenty of time. Equasia Jones' shot is partially blocked. So possession will remain on the offensive end as substitutions make their way into the ball game as Jamaica Jones comes into the ball game for the Lady Builders. Christine Epler and Inesha Hankerson make their way back in for the Wildcats. And it's good to see Jamaica Jones in the ball game as there's a turnover quickly on the inbound. Last time out, Jamaica Jones able to come in and put up double digits when she came into the basketball game and scoring, and she pays dividends right there on the defensive end with the rebound. Long 3-point shot comes off, and it comes down to Weddington, but it rolls slowly out of bounds, and we get a foul call. That foul call is going to go on Christine Epler, and for Epler, she's scoreless in the basketball game, but she picks up her first personal foul. As Aaliyah Whitley makes her way into the ball game to give Taylor McCaslin an opportunity to get a blow. Builders trail by 2, 10-8, 3:15 remaining in the first as Paulie Pelham travels. So Paulie Pelham yet to get on the scoreboard. So far, she's committed a couple of turnovers. Now, coming into this afternoon's game, Johnson & Wales is sitting in 2nd place in the EMAC. Shot goes down for Micah Thomas. So the Builders trail once again by 4. 12-8 is the score as the defense, the man-to-man defense is extended there by Epler on Weddington, able to slap it out of bounds. Shot clock sits at 18 seconds, 2:45 remaining in the first period.
Thank you.
Weddington with the inbound. Tough shot, and it goes down. A circus shot that time by Weddington, able to convert, and the Builders back down by 2. Here's Montessori. She looked a tad bit out of control, but there was no foul call. But we do get a foul call after the shot goes through the basket. So they're going to whistle Jamaica Jones for that foul. So Epler will make her way to the line, and Epler seemingly had already made the shot, fell on the floor, and there was a foul call after the shot went down. Bit of a late whistle there from the crew, but Epler misses the free throw as there's a foul, and that foul is going to go against Montessori. So Montessori, that is her first personal foul. She has 6 points in the ball game. As the Builders get a little bit lax on the inbound, Jamaica Jones failed to squeeze the basketball once she received it. Loose ball comes off to the Wildcats. Here's Hankerson. Hankerson out of control, and they call the foul. So a player control foul called on Inesha Hankerson, who went in elbows high, who actually stands at about 6 feet. So she's clearly the tallest player on the floor this afternoon. Here's Weddington. Did she lose it off of her foot? Looks like a Wildcat touched it before it went out of bounds. Johnson Wells comes into this afternoon's basketball game averaging about 74.3 points per game as Jamaica Jones reopens the scoring for the Builders. 14-12 now, Builders trailing, but we get a foul on a three-point try. They're going to call that on Aaliyah Whitley. And everyone knows one of the cardinal sins in basketball is you never foul a jump shooter. Consequently, Shannon Martin will step to the line to shoot three as she converts on the first. So that changes the scoreboard now 15-12. Wildcats lead the Builders, 1:40 left in the first period. As the second of two goes down, Builders currently sitting with 5 personal fouls for the remaining 1:40 of this period. The Wildcats are in the double bonus, so they will be shooting 2 foul shots for the remainder of the first period as Martin hits all 3. So 17-12 is our score as Weddington finds Jones. Shot comes off. Weak side rebound to the Wildcats. There's Montessori. Shot missed. Elena Pauley-Pelham with the basketball. Long three-point try misses for the Lady Builders, and you would have liked to see them be a little bit more patient in their offense. Plenty of time was left on the shot clock. 1:03 remaining in the first period as Martin's three-point shot rims in and out. Builders running. Here's Weddington. Shot up and good. So for Weddington, that is her 4th point of this afternoon. And the Lady Builders now trail 17-14, under a minute left in the first period. Shot clock at 15. 34 seconds on the game clock as Montessori misses. Loose ball comes off to Hankerson, who's able to put it down. So the Lady Builders get an opportunity to hold for the final shot in the period. They trail 19-14. As Weddington crosses the timeline with 14 seconds remaining, and we get a foul. Now that's only going to be the 4th team foul for the Wildcats. So no shots here. Lady Builders will set to inbound as substitutions make their way in. Justice Wallace comes into the basketball game, and we quickly turn it over. And they call traveling. So that leaves 7.9 seconds remaining in the first period. Lady Builders get an opportunity for the last shot. No full court press by the Wildcats. So the Lady Builders on the attack with Weddington. That give came off to Whitley, and she misses, and that is how the first period of action is going to end here with the Lady Wildcats leading by a score of 19-14 over the Lady Builders here at home at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. And once again, want to thank everyone for joining us on this beautiful but cold day here in Newport News, Virginia. On my way in, I looked at the thermostat, and it was somewhere around about 39 degrees. Now, folks, I'm not from this area. I'm actually from Alabama. Did a quick check on what the weather is like at home. It's 64 in Mobile, Alabama, which is where I'm from, and 39 here. So you know what's on my mind. I'd much rather be in a little bit warmer weather, but thankfully, I'm actually happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining us as the Lady Builders now trail 19-14 in the basketball game. Bit of a sloppy first period there from the ladies. Had an opportunity at some easy shots, weren't able to convert. It's not that the Lady Builders aren't getting opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. We're just not converting when we get all the way to the rack. So it's very important as this basketball game goes on that as these opportunities present themselves to score, we have to finish the play, all right? So the first period timeout is over. Both teams are making their way back onto the court. So as they make their way onto the court, they always have to keep in mind, no pressure. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a moment. Second period is underway. Aquasia Jones. Here's Brittany Jones trying to attack this man-to-man defense, this pressure man-to-man defense, as a wild shot by Aquasia Jones comes off. It did not hit the rim, so the shot clock does not reset. And there was a bump there by Montessori and no call.
Hey, get a stop, right?
Was I not the only one that saw that obvious foul there by Montessori? With the bump on Aquasia Jones as she made her way into the lane, no call, so the score stays 19-14. 9:26 left in the second as Montessori scores. So 21-14 is our score. It's Weddington to Paulie Pelham. Shot clock at 20. Plenty of time to run the set play. Jones shoots for three. Shot comes off long. Rebound tipped out to Jones. So the Lady Builders have an opportunity to slow it down. Shot clock at 15. Plenty of time remaining. Paulie Pelham. Long three-point shot. No good. Offensive board comes to the Wildcats. So 21-14 is our score. 8:39 as Hankerson gives to Wallace.
Justice Wallace.
23-14 our score. Here's Paulie Pelham. Wallace. Shot up and good. So the player on the team affectionately known as Light Bright gets her first points of this afternoon. And that trims the Wildcat lead to 23-16, but no longer as Montessori scores. It is now 25-16, 9-point lead by the Wildcats, their largest lead of this afternoon. Paulie Pelham came right out of her sneaker as she made her move to the basket. Another tough shot by Weddington goes down. So 25-18. Paulie Pelham lost a wheel on her way to make it to the basket. She was able to get her sneaker back on. And here's a turnover. Builders running. Jones bumped, no call. I probably should pay less attention to what it is that the referees are not calling and just pay more attention to the basketball game as Montessori converts again. She now has 12. Weddington bumped again. No call. So the referees are letting them play. So 27-18 is our score. 7 minutes left in the first half. Ball slapped away from Hankerson. Here's Montessori, who's been lighting it up so far in the basketball game. Rebound off to Wallace. And Hankerson loses the loose ball. Here's Jones. Jones able to convert. So 27-20 is our score, 6:36 left. Builders are right there. Here's Wallace. A back and forth between her and Scott. Wallace again. Shot up and in for Micah Thomas. So for Micah Thomas, she has 6 points, but the scorer that is doing the most damage right now for the Wildcats is Montessori. She has 10 as Aquasia Jones able to get the tough shot to go. 29-22 as we get a foul call, and if that is on Alexis Weddington, that will be her third, and it is.
Builder foul number 14, Alexis Weddington, her third personal, first team foul.
So 5:55 left in the second. Alexis Weddington picks up her third personal foul.
Jemiah Muntz off the line for the Wildcats, shooting 2.
So obviously she will be taking a seat for the final 5:55 in the first half as Jamaica Jones replaces Alexis Weddington at the 5:55 mark of the first half as Montessori looks to add to her point total of 12, and she does. So we get a timeout. Timeout being taken by the Lady Builders. And for the Lady Builders, that will leave them with 4 total timeouts left in the first half, 5:55 left. Builders trail by 8 as we come back to courtside with me, Howard McCain. Once again, so happy to have you with us. Sekou Fry is our engineer producer this afternoon, and this home crowd really wants something to cheer about right now. But let's be honest, things haven't quite gone the way that the Lady Builders would have hoped in this first half. But there is a ton of basketball still left to be played, so don't go anywhere. Stay right here with us for all the action. Again, at the timeout, 30-22 is our score, as the Lady Builders knew that they had their hands full coming into this afternoon's basketball game against Johnson and Wills. Again, they sit in second place in the EMAC right now with a conference record of 4-3. Lady Builders have an opportunity to improve their seeding, I believe, in the tournament if they were to win. Now, there's some tiebreaker situations that come into play when it comes to how much you beat an opponent by. Now, the last time these two teams played, Johnson and Wells won by 20. So if the Builders want to make any hay in winning this game, not only do they need to win it, but they need to win it by 21. That's a lot of points. So the timeout is over. Both teams are back at the free throw line as Montessori gets set to attempt her second of 2 and try to add to her point total of 13, and she does just that. So 31-22, the Wildcats match their largest lead of the afternoon at 9. McCaslin, feed to Jones, tough shot, and Jones is fouled. So that foul call will go on Christine Epler. And for Epler, that's going to be her 3rd personal foul. So she's going to have a seat as well. No, I'll take that back. I'm sorry, I looked at it wrong. That is Epler's 2nd personal foul. But she takes a seat nonetheless as Brittany Jones gets set to shoot 2. As she converts the first, it's now a 31-23 basketball game, 8-point advantage right now by the Wildcats. Make it 7. Big foul shots there by Brittany Jones. She's able to make both go down. So 5:38 left in the first period is Hankerson. Feeds Martin. Montessori. Misses. Rebound comes off the face of Montessori. Here's Jones. Jones unable to handle the basketball on the fast break. Paulie Pelham forces it to Jamaica Jones as we get a foul call. That call is going to go on Justice Wallace of the Wildcats on the loose ball, so that'll be her first personal foul to go with her 2 points. Now, did they just change it? Okay, they said put 20 seconds on the shot clock. Okay, so Justice Wallace is credited with the foul. 15 seconds left on the shot clock as Equasia Jones works. Trying to find a screen. She's being hounded by Hankerson, and she's able to get the foul. So Hankerson picks up her 2nd personal foul. So that's only the team's third team foul, so no shots upcoming. Michael Thomas comes in for Ainisha Hankerson. Outlet to Paulie Pelham. Ball goes inside to Jones, who's able to get it up and over the defense. So Jamaica Jones finds the scoring stroke once again. She now has 4 points, and the Wildcat lead has been trimmed to 5. 31-26, 4:40 left in the first half. Here's Montessori. As we get a 3-second lane violation on the Wildcats, and that's a turnover. And we'll take it as the Lady Builders continue to battle this tough Johnson and Wales Lady Wildcat basketball team out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we get another foul call. So that one is going to go on Kara Scott. So that'll be the 5th team foul, I believe. So that for Scott, that is her first personal foul. I thought that was the 15th foul. Long three-point shot by Equasia Jones misses everything. Shot clock does not reset. Jones feeds Equasia Jones, thought she was fouled, but instead it was a loose ball that was poked out of bounds. It stays on the offensive end, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Lady Builders look a little gassed as the ball is bounced on the baseline. That's going to be a turnover. So the Lady Builders looking a tad bit gassed right now in the basketball game. As Coach Bree Hill looks for a little bit more energy out of her basketball team, another turnover. So the Lady Builders are getting opportunities. They just have to convert them. Paulie Pelham bumped once again, and there's no call by the officials. 31-26 is our score. Wildcats lead by 5. Skip pass from Montessori to Wallace as Wallace misses. Here comes Jones. Jones splits the defense, able to get the layup to go, and we're going to get a timeout. Timeout being taken by the Wildcats, and to be honest with you folks, I think the Lady Builders need that that timeout just as much as the Wildcats do. If you've never played any kind of basketball, whether it was pickup or whether it was organized basketball, you know as well as I do, you spend way more energy trying to catch up in a basketball game than you do trying to maintain a lead. And right now, the Lady Builders are gassed. So that timeout being called by the Wildcats was actually God sent. They need that whistle. Only a 30-second timeout, so the teams are going to be right back on the floor. But that does give the opportunity for the Lady Builders to get over, get a tad bit refreshed, get a little bit of coaching from Coach Bria Hill, and they're right back out there. So remember, at the 5:55 mark, Alexis Weddington picked up her 3rd personal foul, so she's on the bench for the remainder of the half, and the Lady Builders are still able to hang in there. 3:20 left in the first half. Shot clock at 20 is Montessori. Wallace trapped. Montessori unable to hit. And here come the Builders. Jones rushed the shot, but there's a foul underneath. Shannon Martin is going to be whistled for the foul, so that is now 5 team fouls. So for the remaining 3 minutes and 4 seconds of the first half, the Lady Builders will be in the double bonus, so Elena Paulie Pelham will step to the line to shoot 2. So the score remains 31-28 as this crowd waits. And she converts the second of 2, and that makes the score now 31-29. Again, this crowd ready to explode for this Lady Builder team as they continue to fight in the midst of an unusual season. We'll talk about that a little bit more as the outlet comes off to Jones. Jones pushes. Wild shot there by Jones. You would have liked to see her try to gather herself a little before she made that shot, but Montessori steps through the double team and an impressive layup. So Montessori now with 16 points in the ball game. Wildcats with a 33-29 lead, 4-point lead as Pelham attacks. Kick to Jones. Rebound comes off to Pelham, and she's fouled. So that foul will be on Justice Wallace. That is her 2nd personal foul. And once again, Paulie Pelham will step to the line to shoot 2. So not only are the foul shots important, the Lady Builders get an opportunity to make a dent in the scoreboard with the clock stopped, and they do that. So 33-30 is our score. Paulie Pelham now with 4 points on the afternoon, make it 5. So 33-31, the Lady Builders have erased a 9-point deficit to bring within 1 possession, 2:14 left in the first half. Here's Montessori. Near steal that time by Aquasia Jones. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Montessori with 16 points. Here's Martin. Forces a three-point shot. McCaslin with the rebound. McCaslin slows it down. Works the offense. Jones! I thought Bayport Credit Union was closed, but Jamaica Jones just told us that the bank is open. So now the score is tied 33-30, and you hear the crowd start to come alive here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. But Justice Wallace shuts everyone right back up. 35-33. Feed down low to Brittany. Shot up off the glass is good. And we're tied again, 35-35. 1:15 left in the first half. Montessori with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Shot attempt is partially blocked by Kara Scott. Kara Scott brutally fouled right there on the baseline. If you're going to come in amongst the trees, be prepared to get chopped down. So 1:03 left in the first half. We are tied 35-35. That's only the second team foul on the Lady Builders as Scott misses the first of two. Scott misses them both, but Wallace comes off with a rebound. Jones with the steal. McCaslin, outlet. Layup is good, and the Lady Builders have their first lead of this afternoon's basketball game at 37-35, erasing a 9-point deficit heading into the locker room as the Wildcats miss. Here's Jones with the numbers. Able to get around the defense, Elena Pauley-Pelham with the loose ball. Here's Jones. Three-point shot, in and out. Montessori, outlet. Unable to hit. Lady Builders can hold for the final shot. As the Lady Builders can hold for the final shot, Jones attacks. Last touched by the Wildcats. So right now, the Lady Builders should be in no hurry to shoot a shot. They can hold for the final. As the trigger is squeezed, and Elena Pauley-Pelham with a big three-point shot out of the corner, and that gives the Lady Builders a 5-point lead as the clock set to expire here in the first half does just that, and the Lady Builders come back and take a 40-35 lead into the halftime locker room, and wow, who saw that coming? Considering how the ladies started the first quarter, but were able to really stick into it and stay with it, and they come away now with a lead going into the halftime locker room on the heels of a lot of turnovers committed by the Lady Wildcats. As we got into the second quarter, turnovers were still there. Lady Builders were getting an opportunity to convert at that point, and they quickly erased a 9-point deficit to take a 5-point lead into the halftime locker room themselves. So an exciting first half of action here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. So glad you could be here with us. So stay tuned. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to get some stats, come back, give you a little bit more about what happened in the first half. But as for now, go refresh yourselves, relax, come back with us. After this, we'll be back with the second half. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Halftime score, Lady Builders 40, Lady Wildcats 35. Remember, this is Builder Basketball.
My name is Letitia McCain. I am Director of Education of the Apprentice School, and I think the fun part of it all is relationship.
You know, the opportunity we can offer here at the Apprentice School is a very unique one. Student athletes is just one of a kind.
My favorite part about being an apprentice is to work. Since I came in the yard, I've matured a lot. Coming in school, I'm able to work better with others
Oh man, great experience. I mean, you're doing what you love. You're learning a great trade that you wear. It's just a great best experience I ever had.
I loved it because it taught me time management. It taught me patience. One, I did everything last minute, so it taught me how to go to work, get time for rest, get to school, and stay on top of things. Everything being an apprentice has to be the numerous get. As long as your initiative, determination, and you dedicate yourself, there's no door that can't be opened.
It's not your traditional college scholarship type athlete. Just hearing about the women actually getting out and working, it told me about their character to even sign up and be committed to a program like this. The challenge, I think, just knowing that these women can do both, it was inspiring.
Wrestling, it takes serious dedication to be really good at, and like other apprentice, they're going to work all day, on nuclear aircraft carriers and submarines, and being a full-time.
I didn't know what to think. I was blindsided. Got to grow up a little fast, but I made it work. Tuition free, simple. As simple as that.
Grads that are graduating high school, their first year at college or typical university, they're sleeping in. Sometimes our guys and ladies are out beating on steel at 5:30 in the morning sometimes.
It's completely different. You really see how responsible you have to get every morning, get to work. People really rely on you.
Not for somebody that's soft. It's something that's very rewarding when you get through it. It's a long day. You're up at 5 or so. You may go to school. You may work all day, practice afterwards, get home, clean up, eat, work, and get ready to do it again the next day. So it's a sacrifice and it's a commitment.
I'd say proud of it. Really, it's just being able to have this opportunity and do it all. I mean, I got the schooling for and made it through that, and being able to do something I'm really interested in.
But playing ball is awesome through the apprentice school because it definitely just opens more doors to move up in the company.
It's the best decision that you could make coming out of high school. You're going to pay your own bills, start your own career, and also at the same time, you could get education for free. So it's really a brainer.
I was recruited right out of high school. Had a coordinator come to my school and say, man, you have any student debt when you finish up? You get to play football and work hands every day. I said, sign me up right then and there. Great experience of my life.
You got hard to be able to survive this place, this culture, this atmosphere. So what we do is we come in, we are no excuses. We want guys that are smart, that are going to be able to come in here and get the classwork done. That's first. Second, those guys that really love the game of football, guys that, you know, they love to compete. We play a fast, high-paced, exciting brand of football, so that's something they can look forward to. With the trending and our program is recruiting. I can tell you that we're going to be moving into some spaces that apprentice football has never been before, and I'm excited about it.
It's a great opportunity to be able to come not only the sport, but also be able to have a career out of it as well too.
I believe the proudest moment I've had is to see all of our players, walk that stage. I challenge each one of them as a minimum, and several of them are going through the ranks making supervision. So probably many of them 6, in my opinion.
It's a big deal when they come here. The building powered submarines and aircraft carriers for the U.S. Navy, and basketball is just the fun part. But what our apprentices do on a day in and day out basis is protecting our security, and something that they're going to be able to really take pride in for the rest
Play a huge part in the safety of our country, being a contractor of the United States Navy. And it's just an opportunity that we can offer that no one else in America can. So it's really unique here and really awesome.
The opportunity of the apprentice school should be to a lot of individuals because it gives students an opportunity to come in and learn a trade, but also you get a chance to be a leader. So to be able to get job skills, on-the-job training, as well as interact in a West company, I work more than an individual asks for.
I'm Michael Allen. I'm the Director of Athletics School, and I am a builder.
My name is Brian Cave, and I am a builder.
My name is Nicole Jackson, and I am a builder.
My name is Ben Jones, and I am a builder.
I'm Joey Maben, and I am a builder.
My name is Zach Johnson, a builder. My name is Peter Maben, and I'm a builder.
My name is Juanisha, and I am a builder.
My name is Keith, and I am a builder.
My name is Mike Brzovich, and I'm a builder.
John Davis, and I'm a builder.
My name is Austin Saylor, and I'm a builder.
My name is Chevrez, I'm a builder.
My name is Lupicola, and I'm a builder.
I'm a builder, and I'm a builder.
I'm a builder.
I am a builder.
I am
start the third quarter.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. We are about set to start the second half of action here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Once again, want to thank Bayport Credit Union for all that they do for Builder Athletics here and everywhere. Their partnership with us has been amazing, and if you have not had an opportunity to take advantage of their services, please go by and see them, meet them. They do such a great job of making your banking experience very, very personable. So Bayport Credit Union, again, just want to say thank you so much for all that you do for Builder Athletics. We are about set to start the third period of action here as we get ready to take some look at some quick stats as we take a look at the court. As you can see, the Wildcats will start things off here in the third period with the first possession of the second half as they come into this second half trailing by a score of 40-35 to the Lady Builders. Again, Wildcats on the offensive as Hankerson looks, finds Epler. Epler misses. Rebound, offensive rebound taken by Equasia Jones. For the visiting Wildcats, it was Jemiah Montessori who led all scorers as the long three-point shot comes off to Montessori for the offensive rebound. She finished up the first half of action with 16 points as Epler. Three-point attempt, no good. Hankerson's shot is blocked. But she's able to gather and pick up her sixth point of the afternoon as the Builders out and running. Here's Jones, who loses the handle on the fast break opportunity. So now our score, Builders 40, Lady Wildcats 37. Inesha Hankerson, who was able to drain that last two for the Wildcats. She led all rebounders for the Wildcats with 4 as we get a traveling violation on Kara Scott. That's an old-fashioned turnover, and we'll take it. For the Lady Builders, several players were tied for leading scorer honors in the first half with 8. Elena Pauly-Pelham, Taylor McCaslin, and Brittany Jones as we have a hard foul committed there by Epler on Brittany Jones, and Brittany Jones is going to take her time getting up off the playing surface. I believe she's okay. So for Epler, that'll be her 4th personal foul, so she's going to have to take a seat. Justice Wallace makes her way into the ball game. That was the first team foul on the Lady Wildcats. 8:43 remaining in the third. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Pauly-Pelham. Three-point misses. Hankerson with the rebound. Equasia Jones, who's already pulled down one offensive board here in the second half. She led all rebounders in the basketball game with 10, making 11. As Montessori adds to her point total, she now has 18. Quick three-point shot by Pauly-Pelham, no good. Builders hold to a slim 1-point lead, 40-39 as Montessori with the air ball, and we have a foul on the rebound. That foul call is going to be on Micah Thomas. So for her, that'll be her first personal foul, the second team foul. Thomas with 6 points for the Lady Wildcats. As the Builders, again, down by as many as 9 in the first half, actually 2 times. They were down by 9 as Equasia Jones with the step through. And she loses the basketball out of bounds. That's a turnover. Lady Builders able to erase 2 9-point deficits in the first half to take a 5-point lead into the halftime locker room, and they hold to a 1-point lead as they continue to play under their no pressure mantra here in the season. As Brittany Jones with the breakaway layup opportunity, rushed it and missed. So once again, similar to the way the ball game started, the Lady Builders are getting the opportunities. They just have to convert. As Equasia Jones loses the basketball. Here come the Wildcats with Justice. Justice Wallace misses. Weddington attacking the basket. She's fouled. That foul is going to be called on Montessori. So for Montessori, that will only be her second personal foul. She has 18 points in the ball game. As Shannon Martin makes her way in for Justice Wallace, Alexis Weddington will step to the free throw line to shoot 2. Alexis Weddington with 6 points this afternoon, looking to add to that point total. As the first of 2 goes down. So as far as her overall totals, the one that is the most concerning is she currently has 3 personal fouls this afternoon. Early on, she got those as she went out of the basketball game at the 5:55 mark in the first half. And the ladies had to play the rest of the way as Montessori sets her feet and drains the 3, and just that quickly, the lead is lost by the Lady Builders as we get a backcourt violation. It's okay if the player's body is in the backcourt, but when the basketball crosses the timeline, then that is an over and back violation. Another turnover. Lady Builders trail 42-41. Here's Hankerson. Player was a little bit out of control that time was Micah Thomas, and she turned it over with the travel. So the Wildcats giving the Builders all types of opportunities. Builders just have to take advantage of them as the layup by McCaslin misses. Here's Montessori. She hit that the last time, and she hits it again. So at some point in time, Lady Builders may want to dedicate a double team to her and force all the other players to have to beat you. Because right now she leads everyone on the floor with 24 points, and the Builders have now fallen behind by 4, 45-41. Montessori in no danger of leaving the court due to fouls. She only has 2. The Wildcats miss. Offensive rebound comes off to Jones. Jones draws the contact, and Montessori now has her 3rd. And that 3rd personal foul is big for her. There's only 5:43 left in the 3rd, so she is going to have to take a little bit of time on the bench. If Coach Rayleigh Ross wants to save her for later in the basketball game, I see no one at the scorer's table, so she is going to stay in the basketball game. So strategy-wise, you want to go right at her and see if you can get her to commit that 4th personal foul and get her to the bench again. 24 points she's been able to put up this afternoon. Builders now trail 45-43. 5:34 left in the 3rd. Martin to Hankerson, who hits. So for Hankerson, that's her 8th point of this afternoon's basketball game. Montessori is staying away from the action. There's no foul call there as Alexis Weddington tried to force it. Paulie Pelham with the weak side rebound. Jones squares, misses. Ball goes out of bounds, last touched by us. So Jamaica Jones makes her way back into the ball game. She nearly pushed the scores table right down on top of me and our engineer producer Sekou Fry. So we're going to make sure we anchor the table the next time she pushes off on it. Martin to Scott to Hankerson to Montessori. Here's Hankerson for 3. Rebound cleared, shot up and good, and there was a foul. That foul call is going to be on Jamaica Jones, who just made her way into the ball game. That will be her 2nd personal foul as Justice Wallace makes her way in for the Wildcats. And Micah Thomas attempts to complete the 3-point play to push the lead up to 7, and she misses. So the lead for the Wildcats sits at 6, 49-43. all the scoring, or most of it so far, has come from the Wildcats here in the second half. Scrum on the floor. Wildcats give it right back to the Lady Builders, who miss. Here's Montessori, 24 points. And Taylor McCaslin's pressure defense forces her to turn the ball over. So I mentioned earlier, and we're going to get a timeout. That timeout taken is going to be taken by the Lady Builders, and that will be their first timeout of the half, and it is going to be a full timeout. We talked about it briefly, or I mentioned it briefly, that the Lady Builders are playing this afternoon's game, really every game this season, under the no pressure mantra. And what that basically means, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Lady Builders, this has been a very unusual season for the Lady Builders. There was a lot of internal turmoil that happened with this team during the season at one point, where they absolutely had to step in and make a change at head coach. So out goes Nicole Jackson, in comes Bria Hill. Well, the question was posed to the ladies, who still wants to play this season? After the dust settled, folks, only 5 ladies stepped up and said that they wanted to finish this season, and that's exactly what they've done. So Bria Hill, during her very first practice with the team, they were going through free throw shooting drills. And the ladies seemed to be very tense, very uptight. So she just simply stepped to them and said, listen, this game is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun, no pressure. So ever since then, whenever the ladies step on the floor, they all go out under the same mantra, no pressure. Just wanted to make sure I shared that story with you, because the fans have really grasped that mantra as well. And you can see a few of them wearing white t-shirts similar to the one that I'm wearing that says no pressure, as the dish from Weddington to Jones is good. Nice play out of the timeout by the coaching staff, led by Coach Bria Hill, again in her first season as the head coach. Has really brought some excitement here to this season with the ladies, as the corner 3 by Shannon Martin is good. Lady Builders back down by 7, 52-45. Pelham gets the ball to Jones. She just hit from that spot earlier, and she hits again. So that's 10 points off of the bench now for Jamaica Jones, and we've seen her scoring start to pick up here in the season, coming off of the bench in relief. Last time out, she put up double digits, and she does it again this go-round as Martin in the corner hits for 3. So now the lead is up to 8 now for the Wildcats, 55-47. Here's Weddington, shot clock with 20. Weddington, shot up and good. So 55-46 now. Lady Builders with a 6-point deficit as they continue to battle here in the third. As the Wildcats working around the horn, they get it to Montessori. Shot off the front of the rim, no good by Thomas. Lady Builders with a rebound, Equasia Jones. And for Equasia Jones, that is her 13th rebound of the afternoon, as she looks for penetration into the lane, and she gets it. So 55-51 now our score, as the Lady Builders turn up the defensive pressure just a little bit on the inbound. Montessori with the basketball. Again, 24 points from her this afternoon. Works the perimeter to Justice. Shot, no good. Rebound cleared by Paulie Pelham. 2 minutes left in the third period of play. Wildcats with a 4-point lead. Jones, wild shot, hit the side of the backboard. Montessori able to control the loose ball. Montessori hasn't scored in a while since picking up her 3rd personal foul. Gives off to Scott. 2 players for the Wildcats collide as the ball is going out of bounds. Neither is able to save it, so that's going to be a turnover. And the Lady Builders have the basketball. 55, 51, 129.
Anisha Hankerson back in the game for the Wildcats.
Left in the third as Montessori takes a seat. Hankerson comes in. So Jamaica Jones leads all scorers on the floor right now for the Lady Builders as we have a foul call. So that foul call is going to go on Kara Scott. For Kara Scott, that'll be her second personal foul. And importantly, that will be the 5th team foul for the Wildcats for the remaining 118. If the Lady Builders are fouled, they will shoot 2. And the first of 2 by Alexis Weddington falls. And if you're unable to hear, whenever the ladies step to the free throw line, they tell each other no pressure. And Alexis Weddington does just that. She hits 2 with no pressure. Martin crosses the timeline. Builders have trimmed the Wildcat lead to 2. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 105 on the game clock. Martin, out of control, loses it. Long outlet to Paulie Pelham, who misses the layup. She took one peek at Hankerson, who stands at 6 foot, coming after her, and she rushed it just enough to cause the basketball to teeter off the side of the rim. No good. And on the opposite end, the Wildcats convert. So after having an opportunity to go up by 1, the Lady Builders are now down by 4. 57-53, shot clock at 20, so the Lady Builders cannot hold for the final shot in the third period. But they can dwindle the clock down. As Weddington makes her move, step through, kick. 3-point shot, no good. 7 seconds remaining. Martin with the outlet. Gets it to Hankerson, who heaves a long-range 3, no good. And that is how the third period will end, with the score, Builders 53, Wildcats 57. As the scoring opened up just a little bit more in the third period, as the Wildcats come out and they outscore the Lady Builders 22-13 coming out of the halftime locker room. Remember, going into the halftime locker room, the Lady Builders were actually up by 5, but now they trail by 4 with 1 period remaining. So again, the Lady Builders have a lot to play for here in this basketball game, so this fourth period is going to be huge for both teams. Right now, the Johnson & Wales Wildcats sits in the number 2 spot in the EMAC, and the Lady Builders looking to up their seeding in the tournament as we get really, really close to March Madness here in the conference. Nice job of coaching there in the third period by Coach Bria Hill. We gave you a little bit of insight into some of the things that Coach Hill has had to overcome with this basketball team here in this season. Season on the brink of actually being canceled, but these ladies are different than any set of ladies I've ever seen come through this program and play basketball. They are very hard-nosed, very tough, very determined. So let's see if they take all 3 of those onto the court for this final period of action. 10 minutes of basketball remaining as we start the fourth period. Lady Builders with the basketball, trailing by 4. Step back 3, off the front of the rim. Rebound tracked down, but a traveling violation by the Wildcats. So the basketball will remain here on the offensive end. Ton of time remaining in the basketball game. Builders need to inbound it first. Weddington to Jones. Jones' shot is blocked by the 6-foot Hankerson. Looks like Jones may have taken a shot to the eye as the Wildcats work it on offense. Deep corner 3. Rebound on the weak side taken by Quasia Jones. That is her 14th rebound of the afternoon. Here's Paulie Pelham, shot clock at 20. Long three-point shot, short. Outlet to Martin of the Wildcats. Able to get it to Justice Wallace, who's able to hit off of the glass. (59-53), 8:50 left in the basketball game as Weddington crosses the timeline. Step through the defense and unable to hit yet again at the basket. You have to think if half of those point-blank range layups go down, the Lady Builders easily have the lead in the ball game. But as it goes, they're now down by 6. As Hankerson's jumper rims out. Here's Paulie Pelham. She's fouled. So that foul will be on Kara Scott. That will be her third personal foul as Brittany Jones, Taylor McCaslin, and Jemiah Montessori in for the Wildcats, along with Christine Epler. Epler with 4 personal fouls, Montessori with 3. No one really in major foul trouble right now for the Lady Builders. Alexis Weddington with 3. Here's Jones. Jones stepped away from the basket on her shot. You would have liked to have seen her step into it. Shot comes up short, 8 minutes, 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Layup misses. Aquasia Jones with her 15th rebound in the basketball game. Here's McCaslin. McCaslin to Jones, who traveled. So again, the Lady Builders yet to score. We're now 2.5 minutes into the final period. Score still remains Wildcats 55, Lady Builders 53. As Epler thought better of it. Shot clock at 7. Here's Wallace to Epler. Shot misses. Aquasia Jones with her 16th rebound. Here's Jones. 3-point shot is good. So those are the first points of the 4th period here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. 3-point shot by the Lady Builders has trimmed the Wildcat lead to 3, 59-56. But Kara Scott is going to step to the line to shoot 2 as she's fouled by Elena Paulie Pelham, Shannon Martin, and Anisha Hankerson into the ball game for the Wildcats as Kara Scott steps to the line. She currently has I don't think she scored. If what I'm looking at is correct, Kara Scott is yet to score in the basketball game, and she misses the first of 2, make it the second of 2, as Epler clears the offensive board. Hankerson to Martin. Hankerson there to clean up the offensive board. 61-56, Lady Wildcats with a 5-point lead. Here's Weddington, she's fouled. So that foul is going to go on Kara Scott. And for Kara Scott, that'll be her 4th personal foul. So some of the fouls for the starters for the Wildcats starting to pile up a little bit. As Kara Scott leaves the floor, Justice Wallace comes in. Hankerson with the strong rebound. So here's Montessori. Defense yet to step out and stop her, have to commit the foul. The Lady Builders have to be cognizant on defense as to where Montessori is. That time, no one stepped out on defense to stop the basketball, and that caused one of the ladies to have to reach in. So Montessori converts the first of two. She now has 25 points. And the Wildcat lead is at 6. Now make it 7. 63-56, Montessori with her 26th point. Here's Jones to Weddington. Harassed by Hankerson. No foul call as Hankerson bodied Weddington all the way out of the lane. No call. So an offensive adjustment needs to be made by the Lady Builders to understand that the officials aren't going to call that foul. Here's Jones. Step through. Tough shot. Misses. So another attempt right at the rim, no good. As Hankerson handles the basketball, 63-56 is the score. As Hankerson, and we get a timeout as the Builders now go down by 9. 65-56, and the Builders have slowly watched things kind of get away from them just a little bit here in the final period as they now trail by a score of 65-56. We're at the 5:15 mark of the final period. Builders once were down by 9, able to erase a 9-point deficit twice in the first half, able to actually fight back and take a 5-point lead into the halftime locker room, but here in the fourth period, see themselves on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Again, 9-point deficit. Now, a lot of times in conventional basketball, if you want to have a shot of actually getting back into the ball game, you want to have the deficit down around 10 at the 5-minute mark. Now, the Lady Builders are down by 9 at the 5:15 mark, so they're no way out of it. As long as there's a 3-point line and a free throw line, you're never out of a basketball game. As a long outlet from Weddington to Paulie Pelham comes off as Pelham with a step back three in the corner, and that quickly cuts into the Wildcat lead, dropping it from 9 to 6 now, 65-59 Wildcats. It's Martin with the basketball to Montessori, who has 26. We're yet to step out on her own defense. Hankerson. That's 2 consecutive times down court where I swear it looked like Hankerson traveled with the basketball, no call, and she's able to convert. So now the deficit is 8 for the Lady Builders. Here's Weddington. No fouls are being called as the ladies make their way into the lane here late in the fourth. Lady Builders again down by 8. In danger of going down double digits as we're now down around the 4-minute mark of the ball game as Hankerson gets the wide open layup. So the ladies fall asleep a little on defense. Nobody's getting back on offense as Aquasia Jones is able to go down and commit the foul. That's going to be on Hankerson. That's going to be her third. Now is not the time for the Lady Builders to get frustrated. They just have to continue to play basketball. Jones hits the first of 2. Now I know that Hankerson was able to get open for a layup on the offensive end, but once the ball comes back to the Lady Builders on offense, they still have to play. They have to hustle. So the deficit now is 7. Correction, 8. 69-61. 3:49 remaining. Lady Builders have to get stops. Still a lot of time left. Epler steps back and misses. So the rebound comes off to Aquasia Jones, who now has 17 rebounds. Don't need a 3 there. Lady Builders did not need a 3. As Montessori feeds Wallace, whose shot is up and in. So with that basket, the Builders now are down by 10. 71-61 as Justice Wallace is about to make her way to the free throw line to attempt a shot, and she hits. So now the deficit is 11, 3:24 remaining. Lady Builders don't necessarily have to start shooting threes, but they do have to convert. Paulie Pelham launches a three, no good. Rebound taken by Epler. Three minutes remaining in the basketball game. Here's Montessori. She's fouled by Brittany Jones. So for Jones, that is her first personal foul. Brittany Jones yet to score in the contest. Montessori, as to her point total, she now has 27. So we're going to get a timeout. Timeout being taken by the Lady Builders. As we get deeper into the fourth quarter, 2:58 remaining in the basketball game. So welcome back to Courtside with me, Howard McCain. Sekou Fry is our engineer producer, And the Lady Builders have kind of seen things kind of slip away from them just a little bit here in the fourth quarter. Again, we've seen it time and time again in the basketball game where the Lady Builders are getting to the basket. They just aren't converting. So if that happens, and the other team is converting, then you're going to find yourself in a hole. So there's still 2 minutes and 58 seconds left. Is it now time to start shooting threes? Right now, the deficit is 12. Should Montessori hit this last free throw, the deficit now will be 13, and I think that's when you start to actually utilize the three-point shot at that point. Montessori makes the second of two, and then makes the deficit now 13. So here's Weddington. If she's going to score two, she's got to go fast. Shot up. There's a foul. So for the remaining 2 minutes and 51 seconds, Justice Wallace with the foul. So for the remaining 2 minutes and 51 seconds, the Builders have to try to score the basketball while the clock is stopped. And that's exactly what they do. So 74-62 is our score, 12-point deficit now for our Lady Builders. Weddington now with 13 points after that free throw. And the deficit is 11. Here's Montessori. It actually went off Montessori's foot out of bounds, and that will be a Wildcat turnover. So the Lady Builders just have to chip away at this deficit one possession at a time as Brittany Jones works. Ball was tapped out of bounds on the baseline. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. 2:37 left on the game clock. Ball tapped out of bounds yet again by the Wildcats. Micah Thomas and Kara Scott into the ball game for the Lady Wildcats, and Kara Scott brings her 4 personal fouls into the ball game, so one more, and she is disqualified. Lena Paulie Pelham to Aquasia Jones. Step back three, good. Oh, that looked like that was going down from where I was sitting, but they hit the back of the iron. His last touch on the carom out of bounds, I believe, by the Lady Wildcats. And it'll stay here. McCaslin with the handle. Weddington, shot clock at 15. A lot of time being used by the Lady Builders, and they're able to convert. So the lead is now down to 9, 3-possession ball game. Scott with the basketball, a little bit over 2 minutes remaining. Hankerson overlooks the defense. Epler. Shot up, good.
Christine Epler.
So the lead now is 9. Weddington able to get through the lane. Shot clock at 20. A minute 43 left. The Builders have to go. A lot of time being spent as a difficult shot is missed by Brittany Jones. 1:30 remaining in the basketball game, and the Lady Builders trail by 9. So the Lady Builders have to get a stop on the offensive end, and probably from here on out, and the shot is up and good by Epler. I know the crowd is complaining about that call, but that was not a carry. Kara Scott's hand was not underneath the basketball. It was just off of a high bounce. So she was able to get it back without committing the carry, as Montessori with the basketball to Epler, who takes a face full of the basketball, and the officials stop play. Now they get together to discuss what they're going to call. So they call a 3-second lane violation on the Wildcats. Epler caught the basketball in the face, and as she stood there in pain with the basketball, 3 seconds elapsed while she was standing in the lane, so that is a turnover. So she will come off the floor. And the Lady Builders trailing by 13 with less than a minute. And we turn it over. Here's Montessori. Hard foul. That is, and the bench jumps up as if that should be a flagrant, but it isn't. An actual play on the basketball was made, so that will be just a common foul. 2 shots for Montessori, 42.5 seconds left. And the Wildcats leading by 13. So Montessori is at the free throw line. She'll shoot 2. She's had a productive afternoon with 28 points in the basketball game. Make it 29. Coaching staff did a good job of managing her fouls. After she picked up that 3rd personal foul, they took her off the court and brought her back at the end of the game when it really counted. And she now has 30 points in the basketball game. So she's accounted for almost half of the 80 points that the Wildcats have scored this evening, as the Lady Builders lose it out of bounds. So the last time these two teams played, the Wildcats won 88-68. Very similar to what our score is this afternoon, 80-65. As Kara Scott is fouled in the backcourt by Atlanta Pauley Pelham. That'll be her 3rd to go along with her 11 points this afternoon. So once the buzzer sounds, the Lady Wildcats will improve their conference record to 5-2. Their overall record, will put them right at about 500 at 11-11. For the Lady Builders, their conference record will fall to 3-4. Their overall record, 5-15. As the second of 2 from Kara Scott goes down, she now has her first point of the basketball game. Brittany Jones, shot no good. Hankerson, who's pretty much anchored all of the rebounding for the Wildcats. Scott trapped. Lady Builders forced a turnover. Pauley Pelham's shot is good with 2.2 seconds remaining. Wildcats 81, Builders 67, and that is how it will end. So that is our final here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center, as the Lady Builders fall to the Lady Wildcats of Johnson and Wales University out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we'll come back here to courtside with me, Howard McCain, for my final thoughts of the basketball game. And let's be honest, that was a very good Johnson and Wales basketball team. Now, their record doesn't necessarily show it. The record now sitting at 11-11, 5-2 in the conference, but that is a well-coached basketball team, and they get the victory today on the heels of a 30-point effort from Jemiah Montessori. For the Lady Builders, valiant effort. Came up just a little bit short. Things kind of got away from them at the end. Had some opportunities. We just weren't able to convert. So we'll try to get those things cleaned up by the time we take the court the next time. So we're going to take a break here. The men are getting ready and set to take on the men of Johnson & Wales. We'll be back for that action here after this timeout. So sit back and relax. Game 2 of today's doubleheader upcoming. Again, the ladies go down by a score today of 81-67. And one more time, let's thank Bayport Credit Union for all that they do to support Builder Athletics. We love them so much. So come back here. We'll do it again with the men as they take on Johnson & Wales from North Carolina. Ladies, once again, fall 81-67. We'll be back for the men's game. Remember, this is Builder Basketball.